Good morning, class. Welcome to online classes of SSIC. Today we will study about the next chapter of political science section, that is federalism. Before this chapter, we have studied about the power sharing, where we have studied about the vertical form of power sharing, where power is shared among central, state, and local governments. In order to execute the concept of federalism, power sharing is necessary. Apart from power sharing, federalism is one of the most important concepts which is important for the existence of a true democratic country. So basically in this chapter, we will study about the definition, about the necessity, about the kinds of federalism and the way by virtue of it the concept of federalism is being imposed in India. So let's continue with this chapter, which is federalism. In Hindi it is known as Sanghvad. So first of all, let's have the definition. Let's have a look for the definition of federalism. The division of power between the central and other constituent levels of the government. Here, the word constituent levels represent the existence of state and local governments. Now the question is rising, why do we consider India as a federal country? Due to the existence of the concept of federalism, we can observe it with the help of a flow chart. Such a process of power sharing, which is representing the concept of federalism, can be put under the criterion of vertical form of power sharing. Federalism is none other than the vertical form of power sharing. In case of the federal countries, we can observe that the central government does not have the ultimate powers. It distributes its power with the state and local governments. And what is the basis for the distribution of powers? If we go through the Indian Constitution, we will find the existence of various lists, and which are central list, state list, and concurrent list. What is meant by the central list? According to this list, the subjects which are the part of this list, regarding which only the central government will be entitled for formulating laws and policies. For example, the subject of finance, the subject of railways, the subject of post, the subject of defense, the subject of foreign ministry, foreign affairs. These are the parts of central list, and regarding which aspect only the central government is entitled for taking the decisions, for formulating laws and policies. In this way, we can observe that all these things are the part of central list. State list, as its name implies, regarding the subjects which are the part of state list, regarding it, only the state governments will be entitled. But there is a condition. If the subject which is the part of state list, if it is concerned with the national interest, at this time, the central government is entitled to make the law regarding the subject which is the part of a state list if the subject which is the part of a state list is concerning with the national interest. Suppose that in Uttar Pradesh there is a necessity for constructing a dam for the welfare of the citizens, in order to improvise the national economy, in order to strengthen the state economy. At this time, the central government is entitled to construct a dam without having the permission of the state government, which is Uttar Pradesh. Because at this time, this subject is related with the national interest, with the national development, and multinational projects are the basis, are extremely important for the national development. And if we go through the example of state list, these are police, irrigation, sales tax, and so on. Concurrent list. Regarding concurrent list, both the central and the state governments are entitled for formulating laws and policies. For example, education, adoption, marriage, forestry, transportation. These are the part of concurrent list. But there is a condition, which is if there is the existence of any dispute between the central and state government, at this time, the decision which is taken by the central government will be finalized in order to have any decision. And the last list which was included, residuary list. Under residuary list, all the subjects which are the part of information technology, which are the part of cyber system, which are the part of telecommunication, have been put. Because when India became independent, when the Constitution of India came into the existence, there was not the existence of information technology and telecommunication. But in case of India, we can observe the increasing crime regarding cyber system. Cyber hacking is very common in India. In order to check this process, the government of India has decided to make a new list regarding the subjects which are the part of information technology, and regarding the subjects which are the part of residuary list, only the central government is entitled for making laws and policies. So it is the definition of federalism which has been told by me, and federalism is very important for the development of any country. And for your kind information, I would like to elaborate that most of the countries of this world have adopted the federal constitution. That means there is not only the existence of central government across the country, but there is the existence of local and state governments along with the central government. In case of Belgium, we have also studied that the Belgian government had adopted the federal government system. On account of this reason, we can observe the existence of a separate government in the city of Brussels and the existence of community government which was entitled for resolving all the dispute regarding various communities of Belgium. But if we talk about local government, I have not told you about the jurisdiction of local government. Local government is entitled for imposing the taxes on the citizens at the local level. If we observe the head institution of the local government, that is district board. District board. In case of urban areas, we can find the municipal corporation or the municipalities, whereas in case of rural areas, we can find gram panchayats, and these are the part of the local government. I have told you about Panchayati Raj System Amendment Act 1992, where we can find the existence of more powers regarding the local governments. Nowadays, that several of taxes are imposed by the local government. We are giving the house tax, the water tax, and so many other taxes to the local governments. I have elaborated this fact that before 1992, all the elections which were occurring at the local level were executed by the state governments. But after the Panchayati Raj System Amendment Act 1992, this liability was taken by the SEC. What is meant by SEC? State Election Commission. So let's have a look for the kinds of federation, kinds of federalism. Kinds of federation. Can any one of you elaborate the difference between these two terms? What is the difference between federalism and federation? Just answer me if you know the difference between federation and federalism. Most of the time I have asked these terms before you all. Just elaborate the difference between the federation and federalism. Let me explain. The division of power between the central and other constituent level of the government is known as federalism. And federation is a procedure. Federation is a procedure by which the concept of federalism is implied in any country. Federation is a procedure, and whereas federalism is a concept. Kinds of federation. The first one is coming together federation. Coming together federation. It is one of the most important questions frequently asked in the board examinations, so please pay attention to me. Coming together federation. In case of coming together federation, we can observe that most of the states of any country combine together to form a larger unit, which is a country. In case of coming together federation, most of the states, all the states of a country combine together to form a larger unit, which is the country. In case of the United States of America, in case of the USA, we can observe such kind of federation. In case of coming together federation, all the provinces of any country will have more functional autonomy. What is meant by functional autonomy? Functional autonomy means the independence regarding some aspects. It means the state governments will now, the state governments are not bound to have the consent of the central government regarding all subjects. The functional autonomy means regarding some subjects, an extreme autonomy, an extreme independence can be seen regarding the state governments. Means the state governments of any country are completely free for taking decisions, for formulating laws and policies regarding some subjects if they are having the functional autonomy. In case of coming together federation, provincial governments or the state governments are more powerful as they have functional autonomy. In case of coming together federation, the central government has less powers. In case of coming together federation, different states of a country may have different currencies. There is not the compulsion of having the unified currency in a country. In case of the countries which are having coming together federation, there is the not compulsion of having the unified judiciary. In case of India, we can observe the existence of unified judiciary. Now the question is rising. What is meant by unified judiciary? In case of our country, we can observe the Supreme Court of India is the custodian of the Constitution. All the courts existing in India will have to perform their duties as per the instructions given by the Supreme Court. Supreme Court, High Court and other district courts. All the other courts will have to perform their liabilities as per the instruction and consent given by the Supreme Court of India. Here we can observe the integration of judiciary, and this integration of judiciary in India is known as the unified judicial system. Because all the courts of our country are not totally independent or not having the functional autonomy. They cannot perform their actions and duties without having the consent of Supreme Court. The liability of the interpretation of the Constitution is in the hands of Supreme Court and High Court. So it is known as the integration of judiciary or the unification of judiciary. So this condition is not compulsory for the countries which are having coming together federation. And in case of coming together federation, all the provinces, all the states of a country may have different constitution. In case of India, we observe the single constitution, which is implied across the country, because we are holding together federation, and regarding which we will study later. But presently we are studying coming together federation, and in case of coming together federation, there is not the compulsion of having the single constitution across the country, which means each province may have a separate constitution. In case of coming together federation, we can observe the conservation of an extreme regional diversity, because all the state governments are totally free. They are completely free to conserve the diversity which is existing in their provinces. So, any doubt? And the last fact, which is going to be elaborated by me right now, that in case of coming together federation, there may be the existence of dual citizenship. Means the person may be the citizen of his own province, and apart from it, he may also become the citizen of his own country. Ultimately, you can say that in case of coming together federation, there is a provision of having dual citizenship for the citizens who are belonging to the country. Dual citizenship. Is there any confusion regarding coming together federation? And now just answer this question in the comment section, that which countries are having presently the coming together federation? Which countries are having presently the coming together federation? USA and Switzerland. Very good. USA and America, both of these are same countries. USA, Switzerland, another example. Now let's have a look for the next kind of federation, that is holding together federation. It is just opposite to coming together federation. That means the condition which have been seen by us regarding coming together federation cannot be seen here. So if a country is divided in so many provinces where there is not the existence of functional autonomy, extreme functional autonomy for the provinces, where there will be the single citizenship, where there will be the single currency across the country. So these are the conditions which are representing a nation as a country which is acquiring holding together federation. In case of India, we can find the existence of holding together federation because India is not united. India is a union of various provinces. In case of holding together federation, first of all, we will observe a country which would be divided into so many provinces. But in case of coming together federation, first of all, we will find various provinces which will combine together in order to form a larger unit, which is a country. But in case of holding together federation, first of all, we will find a country which will be separated, which will be divided in so many provinces in order to form a smaller unit. So let's have a feature of holding together federation. What are the characteristics of holding together federation? The first thing is no extreme functional autonomy for all the provinces. This is the first feature. I hope you understand. Richa Pandey has asked the question that Australia is having what kind of federation? Can anyone ask this question? In case of Australia, what kind of federation is existing? I have told you. Anybody knows this answer? Who knows this answer can reply this question, answer of this question. Coming together, Shruti Mishra, it is right answer. Very good, most of the students have answered right. So I hope whatever has been written by me, you have understood what is the meaning of this statement, no extreme functional autonomy for all the provinces. It means the provinces which are a part of a country will have to perform their action as per the consent of central government. They will have to ask for taking any decision. In case of holding together federation, there will be the provision of single citizenship. There will be the provision of single currency. There will be the provision of unified judiciary. There will be the integration. There will be the integration regarding the judiciary. These are the characteristics of holding together federation. Any excluding characteristic which has not been told by me, you can answer in the comment section. And one important characteristic of such a federation, that regarding the integrity of any country, such kind of federation is extremely beneficial rather than coming together federation. Regarding coming together federation, there is an extreme probability for the disintegration of any country, but we cannot find such a condition regarding holding together federation. On account of this reason, the constitution maker of India have adopted holding together federation regarding our country instead of adopting coming together federation. So most of the things regarding this chapter have been elaborated by me, but if you are having any dilemma, any query with respect to the content taught by me, you can ask me just right now before I finish this class. Is there any query? Jyoti Yadav, in holding together federation, currency, flag, constitution are applied among all the states. Means there will be the single thing. Okay, students, this class is finished right now. See you tomorrow with the next content of this chapter. Stay home. Goodbye.